True empowerment means freeing ourselves from that brainwashing and from that propaganda so we can make choices that are actually in our best interest and in our body's best interest instead of the best interest of the beauty industry. Today we're going to be talking about the truth about plastic surgery. And when I say plastic surgery, I'm referring to the kinds of procedures that women get to conform to the beauty standard. So things like facelifts, Botox, implants, injections, liposuction, things like that. This topic is really close to my heart, not only because I'm a coach who helps women heal their relationship with food and body image, but also because when I was a teenager, I fantasized about getting plastic surgery. I thought that getting a nose job or breast implants would be the only way that I could ever feel truly confident and comfortable in my body. Now, a lot of teenagers have stuff on their computer that they want to hide from their parents. For me, that was plastic surgery websites and before and after pictures of certain procedures. So I truly thought that in order to be comfortable and happy in my body, I had to change how my body looked like. And I thought that because I was wearing the invisible corset, okay? These are a set of internalized beliefs that make women as uncomfortable and restricted in our bodies as traditional whalebone corsets once did. And finally, I realized that it would be much more effective and safe and comfortable to instead change my mind and to take the invisible corset off of my mind, right, instead of trying to kind of force and harm and even abuse my body through surgeries to fit that beauty standard. The beauty and the plastic surgery industries have created this myth that plastic surgery is somehow empowering because it helps women feel good and confident in our skin. These industries would even have us believe that plastic surgery is feminist because if it is our choice and if it helps us feel good, then it's empowering, right? Empowerment is not conforming to values that are inherently designed to exploit and harm us. True empowerment means freeing ourselves from that brainwashing and from that propaganda so we can make choices that are actually in our best interest and in our body's best interest instead of the best interest of the beauty industry. In the Western world, patriarchy is not some ambiguous force out there. It's not something that is being imposed upon us. It is something that we have internalized and we are imposing upon ourselves. Like, women are holding ourselves back with patriarchal thoughts and beliefs that we have internalized. We are the ones who are spending, on average, years of our life in the bathroom getting ready instead of spending that time on self-development or spiritual growth. We are the ones who are spending more money on beauty than we are on our education. We are the ones who are missing out on family events, on work opportunities because we don't feel comfortable or confident in our bodies. We are the ones passing up on those opportunities. And we are the ones who are passing down body hatred. We are the ones passing down the invisible corset to our daughters and our granddaughters. There's a common misconception that there's a biological drive for women to look younger or to conform more to the beauty standard in order to attract a mate. So we do need to talk about this on the topic of plastic surgery because it will inevitably come up in the comments or the emails that I'll get. Botox is a neurotoxin, okay, and it has a very lengthy list of potential and potentially very severe side effects. And it freezes our facial muscles and our microfacial expressions in such a way that impede the subconscious signals of safety and communication between a person and another person. This is not in our evolutionary well-being to do this to ourselves. Breast implants can diminish erotic sensation, they can create nipple numbness, they can create problems with breastfeeding, they can impede movement, they can also lead to breast implant illness. There are a lot of resources and forums online of women who are experiencing mystery symptoms and illnesses after getting breast implants, okay? This is not in our evolutionary well-being. On this topic, it's important to understand that a woman's sexiness is not determined by how much she conforms to an arbitrary beauty standard. Her sexiness is determined by how much arousal and pleasure she feels in her own body. It is her own experience of pleasure and intimacy and arousal and sensuality. Common surgeries like nose jobs and eyelid surgeries, these are manifestations of racism, right? They typify Western features. So nose jobs became popular in the US in the 1940s when people wanted less Jewish-looking noses. And eyelid surgery is super popular in Asia for people to create a more Western-looking eye. So it is not evolutionary for people to see Western features as more attractive, right? That is social conditioning. That is not biological. That's not evolutionary. You'll notice a theme here, which is that the beauty standard has convinced us to destroy our body's integrity and wisdom in order to profit the beauty industry. This is what a psychological abuser does. They convince you to actually move away from your life force and to self-destruct at some level. And they convince you that this is in your best interest. And the end result is that the abuser gains more power, more control, and more money. Now, you will have experienced this dynamic if you dated a narcissist, for example. This is what any psychological abuser does, whether that is a person or whether that psychological abuser takes the form of an industry like the beauty industry. We do live in a world where there is pretty privilege, which means that people who are more conventionally attractive in some situations, they are going to get more social benefits, unearned social benefits. Now, the problem here is that if we decide to play by those rules and if we try to conform to the beauty standard in order to get those benefits, then we have personal responsibility in upholding that broken system. So for example, every actress in Hollywood who is getting Botox because she feels like that's going to give her more job security or she feels pressured to do so, she is perpetuating that ageist and misogynistic environment. So that fear of aging, the fear of our bodies showing the truth of our age, that is an emotional wound inflicted by our patriarchal culture, okay? And the thing about emotional wounds is that if we don't heal them and we just act from unhealthy coping mechanisms like plastic surgery and Botox, then we are going to end up hurting other people with those wounds. That is the nature of a wound. What you don't heal, you pass on. So what does that healing look like? How do we heal the emotional wounds inflicted by beauty culture? Well, first, we start recognizing that we're not going to find healing through the industry that hurt us in the first place. Like, we've got to stop buying our confidence back from the industry that is stealing our confidence in the first place. That's not a long-term solution. That is let's call it codependent abusive relationship, honey. So when I learned, for example, that women who wear makeup are perceived as more professional than women who don't, I had a choice. You know, I could continue to wear makeup and kind of leverage that, or I could decide, and this was very uncomfortable for me, but I could decide to turn up my energy and my confidence without the crutch of makeup and carry myself that way in professional settings. So I decided that I would not always wear makeup in professional settings and in my videos and my social media pictures. And that was super uncomfortable for me when I started doing that a few years ago, because I was, the woman in college who woke up 30 minutes before my college roommate so that nobody would ever see me without makeup. But that's what true healing looks like. It looks like putting away the crutches and the emotional coping tools, which are those products of beauty culture, so that we can truly turn up our energy louder than our appearance and start changing our minds instead of changing our bodies. The takeaway here is that if we want the system to change, we have to do the changing. If we want to see a world where young girls are comfortable and confident in their bodies, then we have to stop getting Botox. If we want to see a world where women truly feel good in their skin, then we have to stop getting lip injections or implants and saying that we're doing this because it's our own choice. It's time for women to stop changing our bodies. We have done it long enough and it doesn't work. We have broken and bound our feet. We have impaired our breathing and movement with corsets. We have frozen our foreheads with injections. And now we've even brought the real corset back. We have swallowed these patriarchal values over and over and called them our own. But true women's liberation means rejecting those values that were intended to harm and control us, and being at peace in our natural bodies. If you are ready to cast off your invisible corset, pre-order my book, The Invisible Corset, today. It is available from all major booksellers and at invisiblecorset.com. And if you go to that website, you'll also get a free pre-order gift, a free online course called Body Reconnection 101 with a lot of great tools, including tools from my own hypnotherapy practitioner to turn up your intuition and get reconnected to your body's wisdom. So I hope you enjoy that. And it is truly my joy to share this book with you. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notifications, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.